decided by politics. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Gani Kaide Balogun. If you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Let's begin with the delicate matter of incessant collapse of building in Nigeria. Barely 24 hours after Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visited the collapsed sites of the 7-story building on First Avenue, Banana Island, Lagos, another building kept in on Sunday. The collapsed 2-story building, which was under construction, was located at 43 Ladipo Luwo Street, GRA, Apapa, Lagos. It was reported hit the building before it came down at about 9 in the morning. Jide, we're in for it in Lagos, because when you talk about collapsed building, Lagos is like the headquarters now.
Oh, yeah, because in 2022, 61 buildings were reported to have collapsed in Nigeria. Out of the 61, 20 collapsed in Lagos alone.
Out of 61?
Yes, 20 collapsed in Lagos alone.
Out of 36.
That's representing 48% of the buildings that collapsed.
20 out of 60.
20 out of 61 collapsed in Lagos alone. And I don't think there's any building collapse that recorded as much fatality as the synagogue building that gave way in 2014, South Africa. And it's the same problem leading to building collapse in Lagos and everywhere else in Nigeria. We are lucky that this last one, nobody died, because there was nobody at the site when it gave way. How can ordinary lightning cause a building to give way? There is a lot of quackery in that sector. People who are not structural engineers, they are posturing as structural engineers and collecting contracts to build houses that they do not have the professional expertise to handle. If anyone, a skyscraper, for example, it has to be somebody who is knowledgeable. I cannot get up now and say I want to go and fly an aircraft.
You can't cut corners to build skyscrapers.
And you see that one that collapsed was it early last year or 20? That skyscraper that collapsed the other day, in which the owner also died. It was clear that it had structural defects. Structural defects, and complaint had been made. But because the person was, he knew big people in government and all that, no action was taken until it collapsed and killed people. We can't continue like this. The synagogue building, the inquest into the collapse also yielded the fact that it did not even have a structural engineer. And that the reinforcement used, the level of reinforcement used, was at both ends of the giant building was not sufficient for a building as robust as that building. But after that, we've seen other building collapses that happened where the same conditions that caused the synagogue building to give way were also present. So it means that there is an absence of due diligence. 10 years ago, it was suspected, or it was projected, that there were no less than 10,000 building sites in Lagos alone. That means 10,000 places where buildings were springing up, where people were working, and only 2,000 of them had government approval. So you can imagine how many of them actually had quacks. Just 2,000 approvals for about 10,000 building projects.
20%.
So that you cannot, it should not surprise anyone that we are having this. In fact, Some architects have suggested that Lagos State especially should outsource project supervision because you don't have the manpower. You don't have the manpower.
I want to ask GKB.
You don't.
This cannot be left in the hands of this bureaucrat in Alausa alone, civil servants in Alausa alone, that there's a department of building, whatever. But as big as Lagos, the number of buildings, I don't think that agency can tell me offhand that this is the number of buildings that is undergoing construction in these states alone.
Because
across the 20 local governments.
No, because the centralization of such functional body, the system as it were. In most countries, that's what I researched this morning, approval for buildings are given by city councils. Basically, because they know what they want, areas where you can build. That's why the cost of assessment is lower. But in Nigeria, most of the things we do are centralized, either at the state or the federal level. So when it comes to diligent supervision, it will become lacking because nobody really has the time to oversee that amount of construction going on and do it diligently well. That would be almost impossible.
Hello guys.
I think what we need to do, like you said, was to source it out in such a manner that only those, maybe retired architects, maybe Nigeria Institute of Architects, or whatever they call themselves, maybe they are old men who have retired at 60 or those at 70, will now do what the doctors are doing. You take your case file to a point, you now give it to a consultant, and they will now give it to approval. You will now come back to government. I know it takes time, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
You know, Jacob, somebody suggested that even the cost of approvals should be lowered drastically. Because
it's expensive now.
Yes, it's expensive. So that because that many people are cutting corners, they would rather not go and pay. So they will quickly build their thing. If by the time it's standing, we can just bribe people. So they suggested, it's part of what the recommendations of the architects back then, when that last skyscraper collapsed.
The one article?
Yes, that they should lower the cost of approval permit so that more people can come forward. Yes, because people will cut corners. When you make it too high, then they are like corners and not want to pay you. It's happening. The country would rather bribe tax officers than pay because they believe that the tax is too high and all that. So save lives. Sometimes you really have to just take your eyes away from the high cost of permit and all that, so that we can save more lives. It's just we can't continue to have people killed the way they get killed by building collapses. It's Lagos alone. Abuja now. Abuja too is now in the news for building collapse.
Something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah, it's the same attitude. It's not. You can't build any kind of house anywhere. There are some places where the texture of the land will not allow you to build a skyscraper. All of this, they will do soil tests. Before you even start the project, they will take the soil sample for test. There are many things that they don't do.
There was a place in Ibadan that you cannot do story building because of the texture. So one man wanted to build story building. They had to take him to court because the texture in the area cannot support story buildings. But in Nigeria, it will be ignored, and now that place is having 4-story buildings because you know somebody.
All right, moving on now. The banditry in Zamfara State has defied many drastic measures, including the dethronement of traditional rulers. The state governor, Bello Matawali, has approved the reinstatement of Emir of Yandoto, Aliyu Marafa, to the throne. He was dethroned for conferring a traditional title of Sarkin Fulani on a bandit leader, Ado Alero, in July 2022. A statement by the secretary to the state government, Kabir Balarabi, explained that the traditional ruler was reinstated following recommendations of the committee that investigated his role and cleared him of any complicity. Jide, can you please refresh our memory? This Aliyu Marafa, the people that conferred the chieftaincy title on notorious bandits.
You know, it's one of the newest Emirates created by Matawale, and the person is said to have a relationship with the senator, Abdul Marafa. They are from the same area. They are said to be related. Now, he was intent on having bandits not attack his people in their farms and all that. So they got into some level of agreement with the bandits, and this one, Adoa Lero, is one of the most notorious. He said, okay, I will not attack people anymore. In fact, people of that area after them and deal decisively with them. But in doing that, no one is saying it is wrong to have a deal with bandits to ensure that they don't kill your people. But to go to the extent of turbaning him is what people fight against. I mean, you can do all those deals behind the rest of us without our knowledge. But to now turban a very well-known bandit, one of the most notorious and the most dangerous, is like telling us that we can go to hell.
A lot of people, when they saw this story, they just described Nigeria as a joke, a huge joke.
No, people thought it was a lie until we brought it.
Until we brought it. I remember that day we discussed it.
People, they didn't believe that this thing happened until we brought the video. And you can come and see even the way it was received, the dozens of motorbikes, you know the way they were celebrating around town.
Even we spotted policemen, the presence of policemen there.
No, even government official.
Okay, you can see.
Yes, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Even government official.
You can see policemen.
No, this was a so now you say you cannot. The army will say they are killing bandits. They tell us they kill bandit leader. We don't see any people, any bandit of this caliber killed. As far as I'm concerned, Dankremi, this one, Adoalero, Dogo Gide, Bello Tuji, they are still alive. They are still walking around. In fact, their leader, Buhari Daji, was actually killed by Dogo Gide because he robbed Dogo Gide's in-laws.
Not the security
No, not the army. He killed him and left his corpse in the downside of forest. We caused at rotting seriously before the army came and away. So it's actually even conflict between them that usually leads to such high-profile deaths. That's why it's painful to people that this individual that they should have bombed is being given traditional title and turbaned, and we will see it, they will show it to people. You know, it became a big joke. And so now the administration is leaving. Clearly, you know, all of these people, as they are leaving office, they are saying, okay, forgive me, whatever it is that I've done. Governor Ganduje too said that. Buhari has said that. This is probably one of the
season of apology.
Yes, in another way to say, okay, I suspended you, definitely I dethroned you, but now take your thing back. Now what we have been told is, that they had no evidence that he was conniving with him, this and that. But it wasn't a matter of conniving. To have considered him honor
of glorifying a bandit.
Yes, that public. You see, they are mistaking it. They are missing the point. People quarreled with the idea of considering such an irresponsible person for honor. Not
because a lot of people
no one is saying that
story.
No one is saying that you join him in banditry. You know, that's not. But now it was on that basis that they have no evidence that he was collaborating with him. He just wanted
this must be
peace.
A big joke.
He just wanted peace and all that. So, there are many ways to pursue peace. People are even saying don't negotiate with them at all. Don't even get involved in them. Well, you went, and it's not the first to be suspended or even removed by this administration. So the question to ask is, why was he
single-handed?
There were others that were punished. Or maybe those others too, they will soon bring them back.
This is like, a double standard.
Yeah.
Because when I said till we showed people the visuals of this story, I remember this particular day and the number of people that actually watched
Yes,
the repeat broadcast.
I was here.
That bandits, you could actually, confer a chieftaincy title on a bandit.
This is what the Americans will call a slap in the face. Basically, the governor is telling us to do whatever we want. That whatever he was doing before to solve the problem and he was not re-elected. So why bother? Why not return everything to status quo and let the new man do his own? It's basically a bad precedent to set. Because normally what this is telling us is that if tomorrow a notorious armed robber can become a king, and then we have participated, but you are here when they made the bandits a leader in the society. And the same thing will apply to some parts of the country that they were holding people. And they will say, if a bandit can be turbaned, why is our own sons still being held for doing less than what this man has done? Because they will tell you that their own sons have not killed people, have not been very brazen about it. But this man was brazen. He challenged the status quo. He told the army that nothing will happen. He sat for an interview, clearly to show that he's in control. And he was turbaned. And now the man who turbaned him has been pardoned. So it leaves a very sore taste in the mouth. And there's no way you can go around this. No matter how much you try to put deodorant on it, it will still smell like what it is.
Today, anyway, we're talking about the achievement of Muhammadu Buhari. Security will be like a sore point, mentioning the achievement of the president.
No.
Now, you've mentioned some guys that, like this Dogo Dige you are talking about, it will go down the line that he held us to ransom. All true. That we've not been able to capture that notorious Dogo Gide.
We've not captured him. He's the one holding on to those FGC Yauri guests. And he had some of them impregnated already.
Imagine.
Yes. He's been so brutal in that area. So brutal, no nonsense in nature. What's
the staying power?
His sphere of influence is when you have weapons and men, you become very strong among the bandits. Even the ones around you will be afraid to contest against you. As
in enough weapons and the numerical strength in terms of power.
Yes, they will be scared to take you on. So they will leave you to control your area of influence. They will not want to move close because they know that you have plenty of weapons and all that. On the day those Yauri students were paraded, you saw the kind of weapons that they were holding behind those people. And that's to tell you, that's just a fraction of Dogo Gide's men. Dogo Gide, remember even the kidnapping of those government secondary school, Kagara, that old school of Shehu Sani in Niger State.
Okay.
Yes, the day they paraded them, look at the weapons. Look at the weapons that Dogo Gide's men paraded. You've got to fear them because they have a lot of weapons, including RPGs and the rest. And so these boys now, which they bring in from through the black market and all that. So the more weapons you have, the more men you have, the greater your staying power, and you'll be able to operate. In fact, I learned that at a point, Bello Tuji was operating right up to the border with Kwara State. So the area of influence will spread based on the capacity
and the
capacity. So fellow bandits will fear them. And the earlier we come up with a strategy to deal decisively with these people, the better. If we don't, and they continue to, because they've taken over the place of Boko Haram, the things that Boko Haram used to do, they are now doing it. Their weapons at their disposal. Just, on days when they are lucky with the ambush, a lot of it you don't read in the papers. But they kill soldiers a lot. These bandits, they just ambush our soldiers, especially in that Zamfara, Sokoto
Axis.
Oh God, we've lost a lot of soldiers to these boys.
Because normally throughout the world, once a senior officer was killed or ambushed, it behaves on the army to make sure they have what they call proportional response. Well, they've killed senior officers and nothing happened.
Yes,
so reporting killing ordinary officers is normal. Because all over the world, that's what they do.
From
Or they realize the fact that
Major, Lieutenant Colonel, Boko Haram.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah.
They even kidnap soldiers.
Yeah.
Kidnapping soldiers.
Or they tell you
soldiers.
that unless you use fear as a tool.
Were they not the ones who went to NDA to kidnap soldiers? You go inside NDA to kidnap soldiers.
Defense Academy.
Yes.
That's the
That was the height of.
No, that's the heart and soul of Nigerian army.
Is that not the height of disrespect?
Now, are we going to say if by May 29 the change of guard, do you see anything changing substantially in terms of the modus operandi of these bandits?
No, it will change. What I expect to see is for new service chiefs to be appointed
And
quickly.
a new NSA.
Yes, new NSA, new defense chief generally,
Or our security architecture overhauled?
Yes, so those new ones, the CNC will give them the marching order. I'm sure he will have his own idea of how these things will be done, because if you look at his blueprint, his manifesto, he talked about using the forest rangers, to police our forests. We've left the forest alone for too long, and these boys now think that our forests belong to them.
No man's land.
Yes. You can see how big the Kainji Lake National Park is. Bandits have now entered the place.
That one, Oyo National Park.
Bandits have entered the place.
Oyo National Park is solely done by bandits.
No.
Then we kidnap people, that's where they take them to. Whereas these were tourist centers that people used to visit to see,
Okay, I have
see animals.
Gafar from Adamawa State. Thank you for joining us, Gafar. Go ahead, please.
Okay, please, I want to comment and I want to talk on about this building collapse issue. The problem we are having is that sometimes the ground structural engineers, they have initial maintenance engineers, people that are take care of the soil. So in different aspects of building construction, we have different experts. They are engineers. An architect cannot take maybe charge of a building, which is supposed to be handled by a structural engineer. A structural engineer deals with the same skeleton of a building, while an architect deals with only the aesthetic, the beauty, the design in paper. So it helps having the technical knowledge of that structure. So I think by the time we begin to differentiate between all these experts, I think it will be better for us, and we are going to take more light in all these building collapse of a team. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Gafar. On that note, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this time out.
Are you ready to win big?
We got bills to pay.
It's Max Millions.
Give me that money. Pay off bills.
We're giving away 1 million naira to our lucky listeners. To win a share of the 1 million naira, tune in to 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja from 6 a.m. Listen up for the winning song, be the 10th caller, beat the clock, and you could win big with Max Millions.
Money.
Stop! He said stop! 25,000 naira! Come on!
Max Millions, only on Max FM.
All I need to say about the second River Niger bridge, 21 years ago, as I came onto this throne, it will normally take you 3 to 4 hours to cross the bridge. I mean, if you are going to Lagos, you spent almost half your time on the bridge, and you were stuck on the bridge before you came across from Asaba this morning. Now, could you imagine how the people of Onitsha and Asaba have endured such a situation for over 25, 30 years? this is reality. So we cannot overestimate the importance of the second River Niger bridge. To express appreciation to our president, Muhammad Buhari, for being the vehicle for the execution of this monumental project.
Thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout. We are reaching you live from TVC News here in Lagos, Nigeria. 4 of the remaining 11 kidnapped students of the Federal Government College, FGC, in Beni Yauri, Kebbi State, Dogogide, freed them and their 2 babies they delivered in captivity after payment of unspecified ransom. The same notorious Dogogide took these children as captive. Now they are mothers.
They are mothers.
They are mothers. They are mothers. At
Shame.
least, I think, not
Shame
less
on the
than,
country, shame on, I don't know.
Yeah, there are not less than 5 of them now who have kids. This is a calamity that we should have avoided.
Imagine the parents, what we feel. You sent your children to secondary school, somebody under how many years?
13, 11, 12.
Because 2021, a notice was sent to that school, that Federal Government College, that they were going to attack the school. The letter was dismissed as a prank. By June 17, that was 5 days later, the school was attacked and at least 112 students and 8 teachers were taken away. Some of the students escaped. It took the bandits, because the bandits came with motorcycles and pickup vans to cut away. They wanted to use the school bus, but the school bus, maybe it had a battery problem. The engine didn't start, so they left the school bus. They will have used the school bus to take them away. You can imagine their devil-may-care attitude. So they took these children away, and they drove through the bush. It took them 2 days to get to their location. They are fond of that, so that you don't know where exactly they are going. And they understand.
2 days?
Yes.
They go around in circles.
They go around. So they got to their camp.
They would have left where the destination you pick, they pick the people.
So they got to their camp 2 days later. Then, 2 days later, they paraded. No, a day later, they showed us a picture of all of the girls and boys in captivity. No, some of the boys who were brave, they escaped. That's why only 89 actually got to the camp. Some had escaped. When you are dealing with a crowd like that, some will
to monitor them, yes.
It's not easy.
Some of them will be brave.
Those young boys.
Yes.
So, Dogogide wants that he will marry them to his fighters. Again, they thought it was a joke. The response from government was very slow from the beginning.
Look at the time they were abducted.
Very slow from the beginning. We did not even know what they were doing.
Something that is so abnormal is now becoming...
And then he began to marry them to his fighters, to the point that they got these people impregnated. Children. Started getting them. The first one that was impregnated was 16 years old. Because they were writing their final papers. What should have happened? They should have closed the school. But the school belongs to the federal government. The state government didn't want to take that decision. The state government contacted the federal authorities. They said, they've almost finished. They do not even have the power. They've almost finished their exam. Let them finish their exam. They came. It's similar to what happened with Chibok. There was no reason for the exam to take place in Chibok. Today, to show that we learned from that nasty experience, you have those model schools, giant model schools in Borno, a lot of those orphans from different local governments, some of those local governments, people don't stay in them anymore. They are now
in Maiduguri,
yes,
state capital.
Because that is where the bulk of the schools are active, apart from some communities in Borno southern Borno. Many communities are safe there. Places like Biu, Buratai, the rest of them, yes. But the bulk of the schools now are in Maiduguri. If we had done that at that time to quickly relocate them, honestly, Chibok would not have happened. What happened in Chibok will have happened in... It was a Nigerian army colonel who was the commander of the base in Gombe that called the governor, and they mobilized luxury buses, and overnight they evacuated all the guests in the school because the school was in a remote area, and they got information and they were not prepared to wait. They bought buses. They bought mattresses where they took those children to, and till today, that school has been shut. That was what should have happened in Chibok. That was what should have happened in Yauri here, Sabon Yauri. They didn't do it. Now those children were still left. The elders of the town and other stakeholders contributed 100 million to give Dogogide before he agreed to be releasing those people.
In batches, yeah.
Started releasing them in batches. Now, the Dogogide has gone ahead to... He has left 7 of them. 7 of the guests are still with him. He's still making some demands with the purpose of extracting as much. People have told me that Dogogide is the most dangerous bandit leader to negotiate with. There's nothing that he will not ask from you until you do his wish. There's nothing that Dogogide will not ask for. Now he's asking for more money before he can release the remaining 7 guests.
I think it's going to be difficult to convince this government. This government is running off. To embark on.
They are in the lame duck phase. Though I don't think they...
And let me add that he delivered the guests to them in a village called Hotonkoro in Kontagora local government of Niger State. You kidnap people in Kebbi. And then you told them to come and take them.
Look at the kilometers.
And
they would have walked there.
That's where because it's in the bush. Most of the time, people bikes. A lot of those people are not accessible by vehicles. They know what they are doing.
Well, I think this government has been spectacular in failing to protect us in the last, and it's unfortunate because we assume that we will not be here we are today. But everything will work out when the new government
learn from the mistakes of...
No, we have to learn because the worst thing you could do is not to learn from history, because you are... And that to me is the danger we face as if we have a very short memory when it comes to things that are dangerous in the long term. Once we get over that particular danger, we forget all about it until it happens again. And we go around in circle again, and it will happen again. He seems to have this tendency to forget things that are happening to us right now. Maybe Lord Lugas was right. We don't have the capacity to think long term. Because this should not be happening. Now, we've been doing this for over a decade. And by now, we should have specialized forces to deal with bandits. That's what they do all over the world. To create a particular squadron or brigade or whatever you call it, dedicated to fighting that particular threat at that point in time. All the things that people like the Americans are basically things that were created out of necessity. The Marines, everything. The SEAL. Because there was a threat that required a particular set of skills. And they now take people to get that particular set of skills. And they throw them to fight that particular battle. We don't do that. We didn't do that in the Niger Delta. obviously,
Homeland Security.
Department of Homeland Security came into, because serious countries and serious governments, that's what they do. They accept that what they have is not enough to face these new threats. They create something solely for that
purpose. Wale is calling us from Abuja. Thank you for joining us, Wale. Are you there?
Hello.
All right, go ahead,
Hello.
please.
Good evening, sir. My name is Kola Wale. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, make it snappy.
Yeah, I want to greet everybody in the studio, the young man, Babajide, everybody in the studio. Yes, what I want to say is this. I don't know why, but as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing that wants to. There's not information before it happens. But the problem is this: what is our government is too slow to take action. That has been their problem since, and it's something that they should look into. They should try as much as possible to secure our life. We as human beings, we are not safe. If you wake up in the morning, you sleep, wake up the following day, you go out, you come out, you'll be praying every day, praying that today I'm going out to God, let me come back. Without security in the country, security is the number one thing. If they
Thank you, Kolawole.
we're able to.
Thank you, Kolawole. And finally, the election is over, but politicking and lobbying for political reasons may be far from over. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has stated that despite tribal and religious differences, there is a deeper unity that Nigerians share. Obi, who met with the Muslim community in Onitsha, Anambra State, for Eid al-Fitr break, regretted that politics is the only thing dividing the people. What is Obi preaching, sir?
Politics is not the only thing.
Not the only thing.
Religion, ethnicity, they are dividing us. Dividing us.
And politicians deployed it abundantly for this
all of them.
Last election.
A man who can describe an election as a religious war, is he not divisive? You know, some of these things, I just shake my head when a man who will go to campaign in the north and be visiting only the Christian areas. What can we say about such behavior? I mean,
Who came to the West?
You can't choose that, okay, Sabongeri is, no, now. You can't do that. You can't do that. If you can't go to Maiduguri and say, okay, it's Chibok that you are going to. Abba. That's the Abba now. Let's those of these things that we are talking about. Obi is a politician. He's talking about what he and his colleagues are doing. This is the truth. He's talking about what he and his people are doing. How many such trips did he make to Muslim communities and people before the election?
I think he's just learning to play the politics now. Because
no, maybe it's just dawning on him that look, you cannot win.
It's not possible.
You can't win an election getting only one religion.
One faith.
Because you know why I talk about this audio, what he said about the audio clip. Because Lai Mohammed threw a challenge that Obi has refused to respond to.
No.
Lai Mohammed said, okay, you said in one breath that the audio was fake, and then in saying that it was fake, you also said it was doctored. So tell us
which one?
Which portion was doctored? Was it where you said, thank you, Daddy, or where you said that it was a religious war? Because I also felt that, look, this man has gogged himself somehow, because you can't say in one breath that it is fake. If it is fake, everything about it is fake. That means it does not exist.
It was concocted.
That means it does not exist. But if you are saying it was doctored, that means it exists,
it existed,
but that they manipulated it.
Cut and join.
This asks a question. He said, you saying that that conversation did not happen? He has not responded since then. It's going to maybe 3 weeks now.
Peter B has not been categorical.
No, it's a straight, the conversation take place or not. He has not answered Lai Mohammed since that day. And he knows what he's doing. Because he suspects that
That's a big poser.
he suspects that if he said it did not take place, they may provide greater evidence. Because you are dealing with people who are good at it. And then all he said was, oh, they have been monitoring my calls for so long. When people talk like that after a smoking gun, then they are telling you that indeed that thing happened. Look at Baba Edepo's remarks. He never said he did not make that conversation. He only said, everybody comes to me to solicit, which is like saying, oh, Obi came to me to solicit. There's no big deal. It doesn't mean that I support him. Others too solicit for support. So the long and short of what I'm saying, and I'm happy because I'm not a politician and I will never be one. The long and short of what I'm saying is that when Obi points in the direction of GKB or you, the rest of the fingers are pointing at him. He was also divisive in the course of the election. Let his people abuse me as much as they like. That is the truth.
Are they still on that?
Let them say what they like. I no longer even read those comments again. In the past, I could read and even explain something. No
send
more
them to the popular industry.
No more. I don't even care again. I don't care again. Because we are dealing with people who always think that they are the only ones who are right. So if you have that mindset, you are the only one who is right. Okay, good luck to you. He is as guilty as others.
It's no more.
We know the places that he visited before the election. I guess some people told him that he could win with the Christian vote
alone.
Yes.
I think Yakub is calling us from Lagos. Abiwale.
Hello.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo. And then, Mr. Awajide.
Good evening,
good evening to my brother, the other one. Babajide, you have said it all. You have said it all. You see, to me, what I realized here is this. The presidential candidate of Labour Party just realized that the way he played the politics in the live conclusion election, he got it totally wrong. Let me say this. I know that you remember that even when he came to Lagos, he purposely go to Alaba International and trade fair. Here he noticed that the tribe popularly standing there. He personally go there in order. What is he telling us now? Nigeria, see, they have told people the last election since 1999 have been participated since his party. This is the clean election that we ever have. So, whether we like it or not, Nigeria are now white. If you play the joker of religion, you're on your phone, you're not going to get it. If you play the joker of TTC, you're not going to get it. So we know what we want.
Thank you,
God bless you, sir.
Kebbi, you see, the person that emerged eventually as the president, as in the president-elect now, you could see the way he has been cutting, the Northerners. Yeah. You could see the way even his own people, at the point in time, disowned him, abused him. That at the detriment of the interest of your race, that he's always going there. Anytime anything happens, anytime disaster, do you understand? But you could now see the dividend of what he has done. That you need that handshake across that strategic bloc.
Yeah, you must remember that even in the US, most of the time you must win California, Florida, New York, Ohio. So you have some state like that. They are what they call the legacy states. Same thing happens in Nigeria. There are some states in the north. You are going to lose with small margin, so that you can really
get good votes.
Basically,
second best. And
that's the reality of the Nigerian situation. Anybody can sit down and use the 2011 templates, which Jonathan used successfully, because there was a block vote in the south, apart from Osun.
Yes.
And then block votes in the north central. He thought he was going to use the same template, but it's not the same, because the man you are competing against hold the biggest block in that southern coalition. So you cannot, people just take a book and read and assume can be applied. The first error is using religion. It may work in some parts of the south, it does not work here. You and I know that.
No.
Two, you cannot use ethnicity, because ethnicity, the danger is that you push the other side back home. And whether you like it or not, they are more than you. They have more votes. They have more children turning 18. They have larger part of the pie when it comes to election than you. You cannot demonize them and then think they will come for you. Then you cannot now pretend that you have all the answers, because it's not possible. What the winner did was very clear. Let me cut the services of these people, get my own people on board, see what I can get others. I said it on this program. And some people are going to abuse me, I don't care. If the Northwest and the western part of North Central and Southwest got their act together, it will be difficult for anybody not coming from that axis to win an election. So you must do double. What about the other people who are not coming from that axis?
You are right, because the Southwest has never fully voted to its full potential.
Yeah.
Lagos has more registered voters than Kano.
Lagos is just
Lagos has more registered voters than Kano, but they never vote like Kano. So the day they vote based, the way they fulfill their potential, and they get the Northwest and those 4 states in the middle belt, in the North Central. What helped Jonathan at that time was that he cornered the entire South, apart from Osun that you mentioned. Then, even in the Northeast, he got Adamawa, he got Taraba. If you have that, you got, from the Northeast, you got 2 states. From the South, you won all the states. That's 8 states already.
Yeah. So,
that's 7 states. 8 states already. And then you went to the Southeast. You also got 5 from there. What is left? By the time you get to the Northwest and you pack, like 4 or 5 of those states, it's gone.
You might play your politics by this arrangement, but the kernel of this story is that we should not always bring in religion.
That's the point we are making.
No, that we should not divide ourselves in politics. But we should not. It was not talking about religion here. It was just saying that politics has been used to divide the people. And I asked the question, this kind of trip that he made, how many such trips
before the election
did he make before the election? There was a time when the Kantinkori in Kano was burnt. Was it not a place where you could use the opportunity to visit them? You went to Benue when they had the flooding.
Yes.
Because
I told politicians to stop their campaign.
Because at that time he was thinking, with Pastor Enenche, with the governor saying they should vote for me, Benue was in the bag. Benue was in the bag. But in the end, Pastor
Enenche could not
Hyacinth Alia is a movement.
Yes.
And Hyacinth Alia thoroughly dominated the election in that state. They won the presidential election with narrow margin. Because Benue has a tremendous Christian population, no doubt about it. But Hyacinth Alia kept reminding them that if they are saying you should vote along religions, like, how about me? I am a priest. In Christendom, I am a priest. So the people gave them that victory narrowly. But in the National Assembly election, in the House of Assembly, it was thorough domination for the APC. So there are examples that I could have made. I don't even want to go beyond this point to expose what seems to me like bare-faced hypocrisy. There were occasions when you could have made this kind of trip before the election. You didn't. You lost an opportunity there. Well, he still has a chance. He's still young. He's in his 60s, but deemed young. So he can still contest. So in future, when he contests, let his campaign strategy, let it change. You must not be seen to be moving from church to church. No. That will portray you.
It failed.
That will portray you. Yes. Jonathan didn't do it in 2011 and he won. In 2015, he tried to make himself look like the candidate of the Christians. And it didn't work because you will now galvanize the opposition against yourself. I don't know why people won't learn from history. By the time all those priests are swearing at other people, or swearing at other parties, you can imagine Pastor Enenche calling a party a useless party. You are a man of God. Party that you are calling useless party, there are people who belong to it.
They are APC members.
You can't be talking you allow your emotion to take the better part of you. I mean, that's not what a good number of our priests, our pastors, learned exemplary lessons from this election.
Yes.
They may not say it openly, but we
know
they
were humbled.
They have learned their lessons. You can't call anybody, any party a useless party. You can't do that. What do you mean by useless party? Then what makes the other party useful? How are they different? And Nigerian party is different from one another.
As a monster, describing another person as a jackal. They were all humbled and humiliated thoroughly.
And because that way you are daring God. And the way people speak from the pulpit like God spoke to them, you wake up, you had a normal dream, and you now attribute what you are saying to God.
A nightmare.
or your own.
God never fails. God never fails.
Yes,
God never fails.
That's so.
If God spoke to you,
yes,
nobody can rig the election.
To come to pass.
If God spoke to you, nobody can rig the election. If indeed He spoke to you, and you got people, some pastors will say, and I asked again. And God said, my son, this is my
candidate.
No, if God said so, no one born of a woman will be able to rig an election. He would die trying to rig that election. He would die trying to rig that election.
They call him omnipotent God.
Yes, this God we are talking about, not human beings.
Not human beings. That means all the what
you are overwhelmed by, you are overtaken by anger. Yes. Overtaken by anger, you are saying also sort of
coming to give us lamba.
Now we are learning
lamba from the pulpits.
We are learning lessons after the election.
Thank you, GKB. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jerry. Good to be back. Yes. And that's our bit today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. or join us this Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubako. See you tomorrow and God bless Nigeria.
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1 horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The SportX treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining a gym can cost an absolute fortune. and you could be paying up to 600,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the Sport X treadmill to save the cost and work out from the convenience of your home. You could pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this, but you can get the Sport X treadmill for not 400,000 naira, not even 300,000 naira. Order right now and get this for just 264,950 naira only. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sport X Digital Compact Treadmill delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. And it comes with a ShopX 30-day money-back guarantee. Hurry, limited stock available. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Thank you. So that you can go. Can we go now? Can we go now? Tell us the police present. Tell us the police present. Everybody. Once they come
And there you have it. Those are live pictures from the residence of the president-elect in Asokoro, Abuja. Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu arrived at about 4:30 p.m. today. We brought you live pictures from the airport where we had people from, I think it was supporters and party members who were waiting for his arrival. And there were also people at his residence, and the press moved with him from the airport to his house. He addressed them. One of the questions I think I got there was when someone was trying to get details as to how his cabinet will be formed, those who will form the cabinet, how the government will run. But he did not give any particular answer to that. But he did say, look, every government is run by people. He also refused to go in until everyone leaves. I'm not sure he wanted to leave people hanging, outside. But that's the president-elect. PM today was staying on his activities and agenda for the rest of the day, and in the coming weeks till May the 29th, we understand he will be addressing key issues around the leadership tussle or politicking around the 10th National Assembly leadership, as well as who is likely to form his cabinet, and then issues around the transition to his administration. We brought you earlier pictures from when he arrived at the airport. We saw a correspondent there who showed you live pictures. But while he was speaking now, he was flanked by his Vice President-elect, Kashim Shettima. He was also flanked by the Speaker of the House of Representative Femi Gbajabiamila, who we also saw pictures earlier with him in France. We have our correspondent at that residence to give us updates. Ola, there are a lot of people there, press members, party members, supporters. Talk to us about the activities at his home at the moment.
Okay, thank you, Precious. Earlier today, we saw how President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was received at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. You saw the crowd that thronged the airport to pay a glimpse of the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and now is at his residence in Asokoro here in Abuja, and we have a crowd of people outside who actually wanted to see him. And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised Nigerians that he's going to give us renewed hope. And the activities that he went through, the period of the campaign, before the campaign time for vacation, and it took him like 36 days or thereabout outside the country to France to take a rest. And if you could see his face today, you see that he looks refreshed for the work ahead. Away from the vacation that he went for, he also took out time to do some consultation outside the country, which was obvious. And because he's not a man that will just go and relax. He is a man that is so proactive, and he used that period to also plan ahead. Now at his residence, a lot of people were waiting to come into the house, and he said, please allow them to come in, let me address them. And the address that he gave was that they should allow him to rest for today, that after today he would have time to talk to the people and to entertain guests. But he allowed the people to come in because he's a man of the people. And he was asked a question about the impression that people, what the opposition have been saying about his head. He said, look, I am here hale and hearty. That answers their question. Nigerians, he said, is yet to consult with people so that they can know his plans for Nigerians. But to shed more light on his plans and his arrival to Nigeria from France, I have here with me Honorable James Falege, who is going to shed more light on that. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Now, the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu President-elect is here, and we could see the rousing, welcome from the airport down to the house. What do you have to say to, add up to this?
Well, I wasn't surprised. We were very highly excited that it was coming when we had that news yesterday, and the whole Nigerians were agog, and everybody wanted to go to the airport to receive him. But because there is restriction at the presidential lounge, those who had access to the place, at least we were happy seeing him, and very, very refreshed. Ready to actualize the renewed hope which we used in campaign. For me, I think that the president-elect had time, of course, to think over all the issues that we raised during the campaign and all the issues that are germane to Nigerians for the survival of this country. And like you said, he spent 30-something days outside rested. I didn't even count it. For me, I think that we just give God the glory that he has come back to meet all of us. In between, we lost some people. We pray that God will accept their souls. For us, we campaigned. We had issues. We raised issues. We campaigned with issues, all our plans for Nigeria, and Nigerians decided to vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, for me, it was a God's project. People lost elections that we least expected that we lose. We lost states we least expected that we were going to lose, and we won overall. And to me, it's a victory for Nigeria. And what Nigeria should be expecting is to deliver that renewed hope.
What should Nigerians expect? He talked about that he's yet to still consult with the people. He's a man of consultation. Before the primaries he consulted, before the election he consulted, and he's still willing to consult. This, aspect of him, how would you describe him in this regard?
Well, you can't fault Asiwaju when it comes to consultation. And he's not going to start telling you that I'm consulting this, Mr. That. I'm sure while he was there resting, he was also making consultation on issues, things that are before him that he wants to execute. I think that we should just wait until after May 29, and then we see how these agendas are going to roll on.
All right, okay.
Thank you, and God bless. Thank you, Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's Honorable James Faleke, who has just told us the plans that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has for Nigerians, and the fact that he's still willing to consult with as many people as possible. He did a whole lot during the period of the campaign. You could see how we moved vigorously across the country, because I was moving. Just a very tough one. It was a very serious one, and he's been able to, at least there's a result for that, and which is a favorable one, which is a victory. And I have more people to talk about his welcome, and This is one of the persons that was, vigorously involved in the campaign and is here to talk about how, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has fared and is welcome back to Nigeria. Can you introduce yourself to us briefly?
The names remain Smart Edwards, the supreme leader of the natives.
Okay. Yes. So Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is back president-elect. How would you describe the rousing welcome from the airport to the house, and what's the address that he gave us here briefly?
It's a known fact that Asiwaju is the most popular politician in the whole of Nigeria. The president of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, also with his popular has always been the two most influential politicians in Nigeria. So this is just what you can expect anytime Asiwaju is going anywhere. The natives of Nigeria are in tune with him. He's been in politics. He has served well. He has legacies. He has impacts. He has mentees. He has mentored. So you can easily find a rousy welcome around him any day and in any place. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is the activity at Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's residence, President-elect's residence here in Abuja, in Asokoro. And we hope it's going to be like this now that he's back to the country and is going to kick the ground running as regards actualization of the policies and the promise that he has made to Nigerians. Back to you, Promise.
One or two security agents behind you. But what is security like in that house, especially because there are a large number of people who are waiting for him there?
Okay, just like you would expect, this is the president-elect, and you will know that he would have a lot of security apparatus. You will have a lot of security men around him just to ensure that things are done orderly. So as I speak to you now, there are a whole lot of security men around here that are ensuring that things are done well. We have policemen, we have military men, we have DSS, and we have a whole lot of them just to ensure that initially they didn't want as many people to be inside the premises, but in his magnanimous nature, he said, look, please allow them to come in, let me speak to them, let me address them. I'm here, and they should just go home and rest. So, talking about the security of, here at his residence in Asokoro, yes, we have a lot of people that are here, security men that are here to ensure that the place is safe, and everybody here, they are living as they ought to live here.
So I wanted to confirm from you, because we understand earlier, Femi did speak with, our correspondent Femi spoke with someone at the airport who said there were people also waiting at the Unity Fountain. I just wanted to ask if the president-elect did make a stop at the Unity Fountain, or if he's likely to go there.
No, the president-elect didn't make a stop at the fountain. Actually, from the airport, he moved straight to his residence. In fact, there was a speculation that he was going to the defense house, but he didn't go to the defense house. He came straight to the house. Just like he said, he needs to take a rest after a long, trip from Paris down to Abuja. So he's taking a rest. He didn't make a stop, and he's not going anywhere today as we speak. Just like he addressed the people that are here, that he's not going anywhere. What he's doing today is just to rest. Then from tomorrow, the activities continue as regards his plans for Nigerians.
That the crowd is already dispersing, the number of people behind you have gradually reduced. I'm sure you have enough time to rest now, but I just wanted to ask again, who are the people in the house at the moment? Who are those, especially party members, governor supporters? Who were the people that came to receive him in the house, and who are those left?
Well, I tell you, Precious, that for the caliber of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, his personality, you would expect a lot of people that will be here. For instance, we have the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila is inside. You could see him beside the President-elect when he was addressing the people here. The Vice President-elect, Senator Kashim Shettima, is inside. And we have, some senators in there. We have Senator Adiola Solomon. We have so many of them are in there, waiting to see him, to pay a glimpse of him. And beyond the senators senators, beyond politicians that are here, we also have people, we have party supporters who are allowed into the premises. So we still have a whole lot of them inside. And just to mention that wife of the president-elect, that's Senator Oluremi Tinubu, also came with him and is solidly behind